would Jeff have given up the summer of no worries if given the chance to be in the invasion angle in 2001? I always thought it would have been awesome to start the whole thing if he gave Vince a guitar necklace in the ring to start everything off with a bang. Now that's fun. The creative behind that, I know we always say creative subjective, but on the simulcast, that's where we saw Vince McMahon spell your name out and say that you were fired on national TV.
GONNE, gone.
And if he were then going to be subjected to a WCW invasion, who better than the guy who was publicly fired? And what a cool way to get it kicked off than with a guitar shot. So I know you had, you were intent on taking the summer of 2001 off. It's the summer of no worries. We got a year and we're going to start building this brainstorming idea we had for this new thing. But what if Vince called and said, hey, why don't you come in? Let's do this invasion thing. That'd have been hard to say no to, no?
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, we've stated and discussed this. My contract ran, so I was going to get paid to sit home. That hence the summer of no worries. Yes. I was getting paid through the end of October or whatever it was. So that was, I'll call it kind of option A. And knowing the boatload of talent, and I'll just say the Millionaires Club, we could go all Hall, Nash, DDP, Goldberg, Hogan, Savage, whatever. There was a bunch of talent at the very top that Vince had his choice from. And then there were a lot of guys already free. I just knew me kind of doing the jump was in nobody's cards, which I was pretty happy with. But if the chairman would have called, I'd been an idiot to say no. Because I just think there were two stories that could have easily, again, this is a little different era, but crack Vinnie Mac or go after Stone Cold. Both of them could have fit.
If he would have been a part of the invasion, who would he have wanted to face at the pay-per-view and a storyline with? And, so who would you have wanted to work with on the WWF side?
Well, I think I've already named him. I mean, I would have loved to have had a match with Vince. Just the storytelling. But I'd rather have been the heel. I'd love for Vince to be, he gets that iconic reaction still to this day. It's a unique perspective. I think he's the greatest villain in the history of professional wrestling. His verbal skills and his inflection, and then his real life set of circumstances and everything that goes around it. It's just Mr. McMahon's persona is, I don't want to even just say a classic heel. It is, but it's an all-time villain. But with the right heel, you can flip that. And, I just think there could be a lot of fun with Vince as the babyface. Stone Cold, we worked together in late 80s, early 90s. I would have loved to have had that match or a series of matches. I think we could have drawn money.